Welcome to Ciudad del Este in Paraguay. I've been here for almost a month now, and it's been a very interesting experience. So Ciudad del Este borders Foz in Brazil, and it's actually quite interesting. I did make some videos about this previously, but you can simply just walk over the border into Brazil. You don't need an ID card, a cedula, even a passport if you're walking. And I believe even if you're driving, you're staying for a day and you're staying within a certain kilometer range of the border, they don't ask you for any documentation. But it has definitely been quite the experience being here in Ciudad del Este. Here we are. Here's one of the signs behind me of one of the government offices for Ciudad del Este. And the city is definitely not what I expected. There is a very multicultural, which is great. I love seeing that. So many different cuisines, people, languages, a lot of Portuguese. Portuguese easily the second language here. Of course, it borders Brazil. Definitely a lot of Mandarin as well. And then all the Paraguayans to each other, they speak Guarani, which is the local language here in Paraguay. And it's very different than Asuncion. It's a very walkable city if you're in the center, the lake area, or the micro center area, which is where a lot of the business, buying, selling happens. So there is definitely a lot going on here, but it's a very different vibe. It's a very different vibe than Asuncion. That is for sure. I'm figuring out where I'm going here. We're heading to a restaurant, but it's a very different vibe than Asuncion. What I like here, and of course it gets really hot and humid in starting October is really when it started. But what I like about being here is the fact that it's a very walkable city. So you're not Ubering absolutely everywhere, which I find even if you're in one of the main areas, Via Mora, something like that, in Asuncion, you are almost always just Ubering to get anywhere. So I like being able to walk a little bit here, but it's definitely much smaller of a main central area than what you would likely know in Asuncion.
If you visited Ciudad del Este before, you've likely heard of Shopping China. Now, we explored Shopping China and a similar store in the same mall called Toku. These are stores that are really targeted towards Brazilians who are right over the border and have easy access to come to this store and buy products for a lower price than what they could purchase in Brazil. I was personally blown away by these prices, so let's check out some of the prices that you can expect, and this is in the store called Toku.
So here for, wow, before it was $60 and now it's 50% off. You get an entire cooking pot. Now, I don't know the quality of these pots. They're gold pots, but wow, this store really does have everything. This store, Tuku, this store is golden. Has everything at the best prices. So yes, it's a bit noisy, but we are crossing the border from Ciudad del Este in Paraguay, going to Foz in Brazil today. Walking over, no passport, no documentation of any kind is needed. So we just made it over the border, and now I guess we are officially in Brazil. No passport, no cedula, no ID card, no license, absolutely no documentation needed. And there we have the Brazilian flag, no Paraguay, only Brazil. So we just walked over this bridge here. Behind me, you see Ciudad del Este in Paraguay, and now we are in Brazil. Again, no documentation needed to get over the border. I believe if you're in a certain mile limit and you stay for a few days' time, then you don't need any documentation. If you drive over, it may be different, but we simply walked over. It was a 10-minute walk across this bridge here, and now we're in Brazil. So while we were in this walkthrough of a cafe that we stopped in, I wanted to really quickly touch on just very quick observations that we've noticed from being in Foz, right over the border in Brazil, for about 2 hours. So we walked around the city center. No, today we are not doing Iguaçu or any of the cataratas, anything like that. That is a trip for another day. But I have found that just walking around the city center here in Foz, it's a lot quieter, especially compared to Ciudad del Este. There's so much happening there, so much going on, but it seems to be a lot quieter, nicer, and cleaner, where Ciudad del Este is just completely chaotic. There's garbage and trash all over. Foz seems to be somewhat of the opposite, which is really nice and refreshing. Even a nice cafe restaurant like this is not really something that I have found at all in any of the areas in Ciudad del Este. And we've walked a couple of blocks in the downtown center of Foz so far and seen quite a few restaurants that look like this. So interesting observation. I feel like it's nice to come across the border in Foz and to just be able to relax, not a big city, not craziness all around you like Ciudad del Este. And so you can really see these stark differences between the two cities. So we just stopped in one of the supermarkets in Foz in Brazil, and I am in awe. Look at how huge just the fruit and vegetable section is in most stores, even in Super Seis, which is one of the biggest supermarkets in Paraguay. I almost never see this much just for the produce. Usually I see one or two small little stands, and this is just wow. They have prices right on them, which is sometimes tricky, especially in stores like Biggie, to find in Paraguay. This is a very nice supermarket. So this is sometimes just the reality of walking down, obviously not a main road, but not a back road. This is still very much so a main road in Ciudad del Este in Paraguay. There is just glass absolutely everywhere. You can see here just pieces of glass, not really any semblance of a sidewalk, more glass. So you really just have to be careful where you walk. This is not very uncommon, I will say, in Paraguay, but of course there are areas, actually just one street this way is the lake in Ciudad del Este. So we're pretty close to the main central area. And then with the lake, there's a bunch of bars and restaurants. So a really cute area, but this is really just the reality. And now we have a nice sidewalk. So we went from almost no sidewalk here, full of glass, to this nice sidewalk. And like I said, we're really close to the main central area, which is not huge, but is one of the nicer areas with nice restaurants and bars in Ciudad del Este. So I'm in Super Seis in Ciudad del Este in Paraguay, and I wanted to do a quick video. I basically get the same foods every single time. And so I'm going to do a quick video of what I usually get, some really nice fresh local meat, and then the prices that you can expect. This is in Ciudad del Este. I do find in Asunción it's a little bit more expensive, but pretty standard across the board throughout most of Paraguay. So this is the typical. So this is a typical grocery shop. I basically get this every single week. And so here I got some prunes for a good snack, 17,000. Okay. Got this entire bag of vegetables. Now all the prices are listed throughout. I got a mango, I got 3 carrots, I got 4 potatoes, and I juice the oranges, so I usually get about 8 to 10 oranges. So here the carrots, 3 carrots were 3,000. The tomatoes, I think I got two, 1,800 in Guarani, which is the local currency. My mango is 12,000. So a little bit pricey, like honestly not bad. Naranja, the oranges were 15,000 Guarani. So that's an amazing deal. And most of this bag is oranges in the bottom. I got a lot of oranges. And oh, the papa. The potatoes were 5,500. And I think I got 3 or 4 just little potatoes like this. So let me know in the comments below how much these veggies would be in your hometown. I'm really curious if it is more or less. I'm so used to Latin American pricing after so many years living here that I really have no idea of Western pricing. All right, so I like to get some cheese. I like to make a little caprese salad with the tomatoes. So I do some cheese. This cheese, I believe, was 13,000 per package, and it is sliced cheese, but it's pretty difficult when you open it up to find the slices. But there's definitely, I mean, this is probably one of the lower prices for cheese. I'm not super picky about cheese. And I believe nothing in Paraguay is sold in raw, so no raw milk, raw yogurt, raw cheese. There are some people locally who sell it, but in the supermarkets, I don't believe you can find that. Although, to be fair, it does not say on labels. I have checked if they're pasteurized or not, but I just assume they are all pasteurized. I really like this. This is no sugar added, just a pure, it's a liquid yogurt, so kind of like a Greek yogurt. And this is, I believe it's 12 or 13,000 Guaranis. So I like to have those in the morning. I did get a little snack. So these are just locally baked. And then they just wrap them here. 6,000, like to just have a little snack. Then I got 3 packages of meat, of beef. So this is the chorizo. So this is 3 pieces, not a lot of fat on this one, so that's nice. Don't know where they come from, but they all are local, obviously Paraguayan meats. And this is 32,000 Guarani. Not bad. This one is 29,000. Same, they're all the same cut. They have tons of different cuts in the supermarket here, but this is really the only cut I like. And then this one, same cut, is 39. So this is a little bit more just because there are 3 pieces in here, and the rest, this one and the other one are just 2 pieces. And then I always get this whole chicken. They also sell half a chicken, but this whole chicken is 41,500. I mean, that's wild. You just take it apart at home. I take all the meat, the skin off. They season it really well. And that is, for me at least, a very typical grocery shop here in Paraguay. Get 2 sweets, a snack, cheese, yogurt drink. Other than that, I just drink water. So it's pretty affordable. I will let you know the total as well. Pretty affordable to eat healthy here. Obviously, the supermarket is full of products and items, but this is what I like. Takes me about, once I know the supermarket, it takes me about 10 minutes. And today, in the middle of the day on the weekday, there's absolutely nobody here. So once I know what I like, it takes me about 10, 15 minutes, grab what I want, check out, there's nobody at the checkout, and go. And I will note as well that Super Says is the biggest supermarket in all of Paraguay. So Biggie is kind of the competitor, but Biggie, ironically, does not offer much, and they're quite small stores, and I find the prices are higher. So if you want a real full supermarket shop, then Super Says is going to be the place to be, unless, of course, you're going to a local market in Paraguay. All right, so I am back home from Super Says, and this is the receipt, a pretty short receipt, but that is how I like to keep it if at all possible. So the total for everything, there was probably about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15 items in total. You saw them all in the cart. The total is 152,000 guarani, which is about 32 US So I know that may seem pricey for Paraguay for some. If you're getting good meats, higher quality foods, of course, you can buy a lot of the stock foods on the shelves. I don't usually shop on the shelves, and it will definitely be more cost effective. But I still think 252,000 guarani is quite affordable. Of course, if you're going to a local market or even a different supermarket, it can be more affordable. Like I said, Super Says is one of the better supermarkets, but it really just has everything. And so I really like to go there if at all possible. And then I did take a Bolt. So Bolt or Uber are the rideshare apps that you'll be using. Bolt I find usually comes a little bit faster. So I did take a Bolt in order to get to the supermarket there and back. It was about a 5-6 minute drive, and it cost me about $2.50 US for each way. So quite affordable. And this is what you can expect when coming to Paraguay. Let me know in the comments below how this compares to your local supermarket and even your local rideshare apps.
Thank you for joining me in today's video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more Paraguay content coming soon.